mean, your mental state is the base for everything you do, right? So if you don't feel good, you're getting in your own way. So yeah, I mean, if you're able to take care of yourself, you're able to take care of everyone else even better and thrive. I feel like that's been my experience. Absolutely.
Part of the reason I even started this podcast was because I just feel like there is such a need to break down things and show people that things can be done in different ways, and that just because your way is different, it doesn't make it right or wrong. Like, it's whatever looks best for you, right? Like, whatever that be. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified, where our goal is to try to take financial concepts and just things that touch the financial space and simplify them down. Today our guest is Mr. Pete, or Peter, whichever one you want to call him, and he runs an organization that deals with neurofeedback. And you're asking yourself, what the hell is that? And don't worry, because he's going to explain it here in a second. So welcome, Peter. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Jax.
So tell us a little bit about like what your business does, kind of what it is, maybe like how you kind of touch the financial space, because you do it in a very non-traditional way, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I run a business where I provide neurofeedback system rentals across the US so that people can train their brains at home. Training your brain is a way to get rid of nervous system dysregulations such as anxiety, depression, some PTSD, brain fog, overstimulation. A lot of things that happen to your body over the years can be attributed to nervous system dysregulation. So these systems help you kind of calm your system down from the comfort of your own home. Traditionally, it's something that's done in a clinic setting, and they've figured out how to make these systems accessible to the average person and very usable, easy to use. So I have a fleet of these things, and I send them out everywhere to help people out. Yep.
That's awesome. Well, and I mean, so for those of you listening, I personally have actually used Pete's machines. And the part of the reason that I chose to kind of go down this path is I don't know if any of the rest of you ever struggle with this, but on the financial sector, a lot of our thoughts about money are mental, right? Like they have to do with how we were raised, they have to do with how we were taught. And then a lot of it is just like what we're dealing with personally. So anxiety or depression or things like that. And so I was telling Pete before we hopped on here that I am a horrible and shameless shopper. That is like one of the ways that I kind of reach that euphoric point. But then the problem is once I've done a fair bit of shopping, then I look back and how that's affected me financially speaking. And it's just like, oops, that's not exactly what I wanted to do there, right? I haven't exactly helped my my financial goals, if you will, right? And so, yeah, Pete has really, with his neurofeedback machine, renting one to me, has kind of helped change that. And I found that it's a lot easier for me not to fall into some of those pitfalls of just going and shamelessly blowing hundreds of dollars at a time or whatever. So, but yeah, so how did you get into the neurofeedback space? Like, that's not exactly something that I think people go to college for and say, man, you know what I want to do for a living? I want to join the neurofeedback community, right?
No, it's kind of an oddball one. And that's sort of why I started the business. People don't know about it. And I happened to find out about it the hard way. So I had some things that I needed to deal with in my life, anxiety, depression, things hanging over my head for years. I tried to do the medication thing, therapy, all of that. Not saying those didn't help or work in some way. Those things are great, and there's a place for those and a time for those. But at a certain point, those weren't working for me anymore. So I needed to get better. I needed to feel good and be able to just live a regular life. So I had a family member who owned these systems, and they did me the favor of lending one of these things to me for as long as I wanted to use it. And I ended up doing 50 plus sessions, and it literally changed my life. I went from feeling kind of down and out, or actually, yeah, down and out to on a great trajectory. Now I have a business. I'm making a great paycheck. Like life's pretty good right now. So yeah, long answer short, I needed to use a system and I figured out that it works for people. So I thought it could benefit other people.
Well, which is a really good reason to start a business, right? But I think it's lost on so many people in my space, particularly. I mean, that I'm in the mortgage space where by the time people get to us, they're so entrenched in, the goal of owning a home and whatever, and they're not looking at the bigger overarching aspects of what is affecting them in that kind of space and in that headspace. And I will argue until I'm blue in the face that the mental aspect of finance in general is such a huge deal, right? And unfortunately, in America in general, we're not handling mental health the way that we probably should. And I think it's trickling down to every aspect of our lives, including financial, right? Because this is what's creating a lot of the stressors, right? Whether you be a shopper like me, where you're spending way too much money that you don't need to be spending, right? Or maybe it's creating stress because there's either not enough of it, or if you have a partner, not aligned on how to handle that, that money amount or whatever. And there's so many things I think that really relate back to your space that people are just not really thinking through, if you
Uh,
will, right?
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, your mental state, it's the base for everything you do, right? So if you don't feel good, you're getting in your own way, in a way. So yeah, I mean, if you're able to take care of yourself, you're able to take care of everyone else even better and thrive. I feel like that's been my experience. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like I said, I mean, because a lot of times what ends up happening is, like, in our space, what we see is that when people are ready to buy a house, because they're making a lot of mental shifts at that point, right? We're making a lot of, like, large changes, right? We're taking ourselves out of a place of comfort and going down this path of this big financial purchase. And
Mhm.
when they're taking those steps, we're finding that they're changing a lot of things in their life. It tends to be that this is when they want to change jobs, they want to buy
Mm.
another big purchase. Like, we always kind of laugh that that's the case, but it is that, it's like they want to make all the big decisions at one particular time, or whatnot. And so it's just kind of an interesting thing the way our brains work. But the neurofeedback machine is not just for people also who are just like deal with depression or mental space or whatever, because doesn't it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not privy to all the science behind it, but doesn't it help just improve the way your brain operates overall with all of that aspect in
It
thinking?
really does. It's sort of it's a cognitive enhancement tool. Many people actually do use the machine solely for those purposes. A lot of biohackers, quote unquote, use the machine to improve their memory, to improve their focus. Those are huge things. I mean, the machine can help people get rid of their ADHD, so that's a focus thing. But with people who don't even suffer from that, it can still take their focus from a certain point and make it better. It optimizes the brain. So what it does is it's telling your brain what it's doing right, and it's rewarding it for that, and it's telling it what it's doing wrong, and it's negatively rewarding it for that. So any brainwave pattern that's even a little out of whack, it tends to just fine tune that, and people who don't feel like they have issues, who use the machine, but just want to see what it can do, generally feel like they're greatly benefited with things such as mental clarity and improved focus. So yeah, it's a really great tool for improving yourself, no matter really what point you're at. But yeah, we often see big changes with people who are really feeling bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of people, I mean, mine, it's so funny because when you would talk to psychiatrists about me, they would always say that even though I was pretty depressed, I'm pretty good at functioning, right? Because I, like you, over the years, I've done tons of different kinds of medicines. I've done tons of, like, therapies and things like that, right? So I'm really good coping mechanisms. I'm usually pretty good at not letting myself get, like, to a too low position, right, where I'm just struggling really bad. And I think that's an important thing to point out, is that a lot of you, whether you realize it or not, you're struggling and you're very functional, right?
Mm.
Whether it be that you're clinically depressed or not, like maybe borderline. But we deal with so much in our lives today. There's a lot just bombarding us like constantly. It's really hard not to get overwhelmed, in my opinion. I mean, part of the reason I even started this podcast was because I just feel like there is such a need to break down things and show people that things can be done in different ways, and that just because your way is different, it doesn't make it right or wrong. Like it's whatever looks best for you, right? Like whatever that be. And I think the neurofeedback machine is kind of the same, right? Like there's people who need it like very badly because they've got some serious clinical depression situations, and then there's probably people who can just utilize it to maybe go that extra mile and push themselves over the edge, if you will.
Yeah, truly. And yeah, to your credit,
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Imagine having the power to control your financial destiny, no matter where you start. Welcome to the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform, where financial education is tailored to your unique journey. We cover everything you need, from basic budgeting and saving strategies to advanced investing and retirement planning. Learn at your own pace with lessons that match your level of experience. Whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your financial knowledge, join our community of learners and benefit from shared insights and expert guidance. The Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform equips you with the skills and confidence to take charge of your financial future. Ready to master your finances? Enroll in our courses today at the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform. Start your path to financial independence now.
Hello, and welcome to PBJ Mortgage, where your home ownership dreams become reality. Today, we want to share why choosing PBJ Mortgage is the right choice for your home financing needs. At PBJ Mortgage, we're built on a foundation of values that drive us every day. Our commitment to educate, empathize, and empower our clients sets us apart in the mortgage industry. Our clients are at the heart of everything we do, and their success stories speak volumes. With years of experience, our team possesses in-depth knowledge of the mortgage programs, ensuring you receive expert guidance and the best possible rates. We offer a diverse range of loan options to suit your unique needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and more. No matter your situation, we've got a solution. At PBJ Mortgage, we pride ourselves on providing personalized service. Our dedicated loan officers are here to guide you every step of the way, making the process as smooth as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We understand that time is of the essence, which is why we've streamlined our processes for efficiency and convenience. Transparency and clear communication are paramount. You'll always know where you stand throughout your mortgage journey. Reach out to us today to set up a call to discover your options. If you're ready to make your home ownership dreams a reality, contact PBJ Mortgage today. Let us empower you during this exciting journey. Phone number 4-693-733-107 www.pbjteam.com. Visit our website or give us a call to get started. We look forward to helping you secure your future home. PBJ Mortgage, where home begins.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
people there are many high functioning people that end up using the machine that ran for me, and sometimes it'll yeah they're people who high achievers, people who use high stress as a tool for their careers and for their daily lives. And some of them don't realize that stress might be taking a toll on themselves over time. And you might feel like it's a boon to yourself. You feel like it's helpful to have this high stress, but at a certain point, it really does start taking a toll on your cardiovascular health, on your mental health, and you might not know exactly what's going on. But yeah, I see these high achievers. They're not people who traditionally classify themselves as depressed people or anxious people, but like they use these machines and they're able to through the cognitive enhancement, they're just able to operate better. They're able to turn that stress into just even a better I don't exactly know how to phrase it, but they're able to use that stress in a better way and not have it take a toll on themselves as much as it was, I guess. It's not taking away their high achieving traits, but it's really just improving them because high stress over time really does take a physical toll on your health. And
Oh yeah.
I think people are finding that out more and more these days, especially after COVID and being working from home and having just all their lives kind of compressed into the home, working from home and stuff. It's stressful. So yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, and I've mentioned this, and I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast, but I know I mentioned it before in different meetings and things like that. It's crazy. There's a crazy statistic that says that like about 300 or 400 years ago, the amount of information that we encountered in our entire lives is the amount of information we now encounter in one day. In one
Wow.
day. So, I mean, you have to remind yourselves, like, that's a lot on your brain, right? Like, it's not that the information is necessarily bad per se, right? And I mean, it's not, and that's where, like, I'm a big advocate on you do you, right? But like, get good information. And it's probably my whole reason and my whole purpose behind creating a financial related podcast is that, hey, there's lots of different things that touch this space, right? It's not just you need information about how to get a mortgage or how to fix a credit or whatever, right? Like, there's so many avenues that kind of intersect and you're not even acknowledging that, right? You're not even acknowledging that the mental piece is a huge one, right? And whether it be that you utilize a machine like what Pete offers, or you figure out how to take a moment of meditation, right? You learn how to do some sort of sacral kind of breathing, in that space. I mean, it's just important to remind yourself that like a health professional that I'm connected with the other day said, you don't realize that your organs are failing until they're, I think it's 60% like gone. And like, so think about that for a minute, right? Like we're thinking our bodies are running fine or whatever. And then all of a sudden we like hit the wall.
Yeah.
Well, it's because we didn't realize we were depleting them to a level, right? And like we just were expecting more and more and more and more out of things, right? And I mean, there's something to be said about stepping back and kind of simplifying and figuring out ways we can improve our lives and our lifestyles to what's going to work for us.
Yeah.
And it's not going
Yeah.
to look the same for everybody.
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah, you get used to yourself over time. You get used to the way you feel, and it feels normal to you. Someone might ask you, "How do you feel?" You say, "I feel fine, I feel good," but you felt that way for a long time, and you don't remember what good feels like. And yeah, it's important, I think, to take a step back and either try and become more mindful of the present moment through any means necessary in order to stay present. Yeah.
No, and it is important to kind of stay present, and it's something that I mean we as a society we're driven by distraction, and I'll say like in my space, so I'm ADHD, and practically everybody in my space is ADHD. Most salespeople tend to be in that realm, and think about how much worse it is now because with all the different squirrel kind of moments there are, right? Like there's this thing over here, there's that thing over there, and it's just all over the place, right? And I think that for me, because I just came to a point, and just so the listeners kind of have an understanding of what happened, I've dealt with major serious depression since I was about 15 years old. Okay. So I'm about to be 41. And so, yeah, I mean, I've dealt with this for the vast majority of my life. And I'd reach a point where I was okay and I'd level out some, and then I'd fall kind of back into it. And after tons of different therapies and things like that, I got to a point where I'm pretty good at, kind of pulling myself where I'm not deep in the pit of depression, but I probably am more just functioning because I have to than functioning at like my highest capacity. And Pete and I kind of met on accident. And as I sort of learned his story about, what happened to him and his family and how he ended up, understanding about this machine, that kind of idea sort of fascinated me. I was like, okay, so, I have another choice besides just taking medicine. Because for me, I metabolize medicine really weird. It doesn't act the right way for me. I don't know if you have some of that experience, Peter. You get a lot of side effects, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad. And so it just makes me super miserable, right? And so it's like I trade some mental sanity for feeling like crap physically, right? Because I feel nauseous or I can't sleep right or whatever. And I was like, you know what? To hell with it. I mean, to my point, we're talking about financials. It's just money. You have to kind of pick and choose your battles on what's important to you, prioritizing what makes the most sense. And for me, at this juncture, I'm like, no, I have to prioritize like my mental place in this space, and not having to take the 800 kinds of medicine they want me to take that are not being as effective as I'd like.
Yeah. Yeah, that medicine gets messy. I had a similar experience with anti-anxiety meds, especially. Like I said, the depression thing runs in my family, so depression meds are so messy, like with the side effects. I mean, it almost seems like they do more harm usually than they do good, at least in my family's experience with them. So it would generally put someone on my family who's taking them in a suicidal state of mind or something. On the very extreme end. On the lesser extreme end, it'd be like, oh, I don't feel like myself like when I'm on this medication. So yeah, I was that. Yeah, like you, I was very happy to find that there was an alternative to that because, yeah, I mean, who knew that you could train your brain to feel better and you didn't have to just take a pill or something.
Well, and I was gonna say, so there's different kinds of neurofeedback. Like you guys
Yep,
utilize, I think, neurooptimal, but like
yep,
there is different forms, and then there's also a different kind of form called TMS. It's a little bit more invasive, and I guess for me, part of the reason I actually selected yours over some of the other choices was it was the least invasive. It was kind of like your brain got to select what it was doing, if you will, right? Like
yeah,
it wasn't a situation where it was like, okay, we're gonna force your brain. Cause like that's what I think
right.
people when they think of neurofeedback, I think they think of the old like lobotomy, like buzz box kind of stuff that happened back in the day.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, and
Yeah,
I mean in fairness, like they were trying. I guess we could try to give them credit for that. It just was not
right.
very effective.
No, no, but it got us to where we are now, thankfully, I guess. Yeah, the system to your point is much gentler. Older style feedback, neurofeedback tends to try to present your brain with something and have your brain adopt it rather than presenting your brain with information and allowing your brain to integrate that on its own using neuroplasticity. So your brain's at the end of the day, your brain's usually very good at self-correction. I mean, even if you have these things, you're suffering from anxiety and depression, you're still alive and you're probably still operating on a day-to-day basis like pretty all right, like for most people. So you're still able to adapt even with those challenges. Your brain makes the best of every situation, so when it has the opportunity to do something better, if it's told that it's doing something wrong, it usually will try to do that. And I'm really glad that they found that out uh, in the last few years because it really makes a big difference. There are a lot of people who had adverse side effects to the old systems. Like you said, it was inputting an electrical signal maybe to try and influence that brain activity. So yeah, just not really something that you want to do. And I mean that makes my job easier because I'm able to send these things home with people. I'm able to send it to you with instructions, and the software is amazing and it does everything for you. So yeah, I won't stray too far into the weeds on that, but yeah, yeah, it's a gentle system, and yeah, that's why we like it.
Well, and I mean, remind yourselves that money is like I said, I mean, a lot of people do not address it, but it is a lot mental, So, I mean, there's something to be said about shifting your mental focus, whether it be through a machine like yours or just whatever the case may be, right? Learning how to train yourself, be it machine, be it meditation or whatever, to change your viewpoint about money and figuring out ways to appropriately prioritize what it is. Because a lot of times, what I tell people all the time in my space is I'm like, look, my job in the lending space is, yes, to help you accomplish what you're looking to do, but also help you figure out like how to get to your end game. Like, right, what are your goals? Because not everybody has a goal to own a house, or maybe their goal is to own one house and that's it. Like that's what they want to do, right? They want to buy that one house and they want to live there kind of forever. Some people want to get in to the initial house and then they want to like upgrade along the path. Like there's so many different ways that they can do it. And what I like to remind people is it's ultimately not my decision, right? Like I'm not the one paying that bill for you. You are. And because of that, like that's why I'm so focused on education and empowering individuals to make good decisions, based on where their space is and where their mental space, where they want to be, as far as that's concerned. And so a lot of people just don't think about this kind of mental aspect touching the financial space, but I will argue until I'm blue in the face that yes, it's probably one of the more important factors. Because I can get you a loan all day long, right? As long as you qualify and the things align, right? Your credit's okay, your income, etc. I can do all those pieces. But if you don't know where you're trying to head or what you're trying to utilize that for, like we might put you kind of in a bad position.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. I think what you're saying when you're saying needing to get in the mindset of well, let me rephrase that. At least for me to get in the mindset of, can you redo that question? I'm like spacing on this one. I'm so
You're
sorry.
perfectly fine. No, I'm just simply asking you, like, as far as when it comes to like mental mindset and how it affects you in the financial space, particularly, right? Like how you
Okay.
view things, how
Yeah.
you think of things, like how do you think that affects, I mean, maybe you personally.
Okay. Yeah. So personally, I had to surround myself with like-minded people in order to get myself into a money-making mindset. I think earlier in my life, I was of the mindset that success wasn't necessarily in my future. I think that I had kind of settled on an idea for my life that went differently, that wasn't necessarily as successful. So the first thing that changed my mind about that was getting in a group, and it was with you, Jax, and some other people, a group of business owners, and that I knew were successful because I had I have family members that had done the same thing. And I mean, it literally took me from thinking that I couldn't do something to doing something. So I think one thing that really helped my mentality was just to surround myself with people who had that forward thinking mindset and people who wanted to accomplish something versus people who were complacent with where they were and maybe with what they were doing, which is fine. But if you wanted to grow your money and to grow as a person, you need to move forward. And yeah, I think the only way to move forward really is to stay in that mindset of moving forward. And so to do that, I think I talk to you almost every week. I talk to a couple other people in the group every week, and if I'm feeling off that day, it pulls me right back in, and it keeps me on the forward path, and an upward trajectory. So I think my biggest, I was thinking about this earlier this morning. I was looking over the questions, and I think that's the biggest thing that stood out to me was literally like, I couldn't have done this without being around other people that had a similar mindset. So, I've grown from a person who didn't think that they'd have anything to someone that has something. And I owe it to being around like-minded people, truly.
Well, I was going to say, I think so many people really limit themselves on what they think they can do because maybe they had a bad experience, or maybe, they had a bad upbringing where people didn't pour into them or tell them. But the beautiful part about today's society is like almost everybody has either a cell phone or some kind of access to the internet, whether it be the public library or maybe at home, their job or whatever. Like there's so many people who are out there who want to help elevate you, right? And hopefully you get to a space where you find a tribe and you maybe, join a coaching program like you and I are a part of together or stuff like that. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people just don't realize they're incredibly powerful. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you come to me and you're looking to get a mortgage, my answer is not going to be no. my answer might be not now. We might not be in exactly the place we need you to be in to get to exactly where you want to go. But the answer is never no. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to find the way, the path, like you can pretty much accomplish almost anything, right? And technology has opened so many doors like that for us, right? Like, I mean, think about it. There hasn't been before now like a machine that could like help us, you know, do these things with our brain, help us, you know, with this or whatever, or give you other choices. Okay, so I don't want to do the machine. Okay, I can go online and find mindset courses or
Right.
meditation type whatever, right? Like fill in the blank, right? There's so many different options.
Yeah. There's a myriad of options out there. I mean, you can yeah, not everyone needs to do one thing or the other, and for many people, few different solutions will work for them. They just have to find something. I think the important thing is just to do it.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Welcome to Financial Mastery Simplified, your go-to podcast for making smart money decisions. We break down complex financial topics into easy-to-understand advice you can use every day. Our experts cover everything from budgeting and saving to investing and retirement planning. We give you the tools to take control of your money and build the future you want. With Financial Mastery Simplified, you'll feel informed and empowered to make the best choices for your financial health. Tune in to Financial Mastery Simplified on your favorite podcast platform. Start your journey to financial confidence today. Welcome to House U, where we believe in the power of education. At House U, we're more than just a brand. We're your partner in home ownership, dedicated to educating, equipping, and empowering you every step of the way. Education is at the heart of everything we do. We offer comprehensive resources designed to make home ownership simple and accessible for all. From understanding mortgage options to mastering home maintenance, House U provides the knowledge you need to make informed decisions with confidence. We host workshops and seminars, bringing together experts and community members to share insights and build a stronger, more informed community. Because when you're educated, you're empowered. House U, home ownership made simple for all. Visit our website or contact us today to start your journey with House U. Empower yourself with knowledge and embrace the joy of home ownership.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
A lot of people get hung up on just, I don't know, just kind of making things seem bigger than they are, instead of just going for it and starting in on it. It might seem like a monumental obstacle to overcome your anxiety or depression or your mentality, and like there's no other way to do it except by doing it. So I think that's another thing that's been helpful is just to say yes to things that are in line with your space, whether or not they might feel right to you at the time, and just to trust that being around like-minded people and helping them out too. You need to be someone's who you need to help be there for them, and they're going to be there for you. And I think that mutualistic relationship, symbiotic relationship, maybe like is really powerful. And if you are able to cultivate even one of those, that's a big deal. If you have a couple of those, I think you're set, probably, as long as you stay in that and just keep giving and receiving. It's important to receive also, but to give too, because you obviously you're someone with something to offer the world. That's why you're trying to grow, and people want that from you. You need to make yourself available to them.
Absolutely. No, I agree completely with you. I mean, I think a lot of people discount that. For me, the book Who Not How changed a lot of that, because I was always, you know, I'm a pretty intelligent person. I am a very driven person naturally. And I always felt that pressure that I needed to do it on my own. I needed to do it perfectly. I needed to, you know, whatever. And like, even with this podcast, if you guys watch the first episode where Trevor is helping me figure out like how to handle it and what to do, and, you know, what I'm trying, like what my vision is and who I'm trying to attract. And honestly, like, it was terrifying to me. So I reached out to Trevor just to kind of give you a little bit of scope on this. The very first podcast I was ever on was Trevor's. And I didn't even want to do it. My ops manager, Patrick's like, you should do it. And I was like, I don't even know. And he's like, you like to talk. You're good at talking to people. Go ahead, Jax. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. So I went on his show. And then when I decided I wanted to start my own and I really wanted to try to help break down some of these barriers of these complicated things that people are kind of afraid of, I thought to myself, who should I reach out to figure this out? And that was Trevor. So Trevor's like, yeah, cool. I'm going to help you do your first episode and we're going to do it next week. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, no. We're not going to do it next week. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have all the plans in place. And he's like, that's fine. We're still going to do it. And I'm like, wait, what? So I was terrified, to say the least, right? And I still will be honest, I don't entirely know what I'm doing, but I know that I have a purpose and I have a voice, right? And I have who's in my life, like you and a bunch of the other people that I'm connected with. And we all have good information to give, right? We all come from a place of contribution. We want to help people reach the heights that they want to reach, right? Whether it be through utilizing our services, right? Like your neurofeedback machine and helping you do mortgage, stuff like that, to us just connecting you with people, right? Hopefully what we're doing is broadening your mindset, making you realize that, first of all, you're not the only one. Like if you think you're the only high functioning depressed person out there, I promise you, you're not. I've been there. Like I have struggled massively and I'm totally not afraid to say it because somebody else needs to hear that. They need to hear they're not the only one, right? Like, because I think that's the worst feeling. I don't know, maybe you disagree with me, but like, isn't that a horrible feeling when you feel like you're alone, like you're struggling through it without any help?
Oh yeah, it's the worst. I absolutely. I mean, when I'm depressed or when I was depressed, I felt like I was in a hole. No one understood what I was going through, but also I wasn't talking to anyone. But like, it's you can stay in your own world and think that no one else understands, but the reality is there so many people out there that deal with the same thing. There's 7 billion of us, right? So there's so many people that have literally probably the exact same problem. Yeah, it's really important to say something, and by saying something, you find out that there are other people out there, and you get that support that you need, and you can get things done. And by staying quiet and staying in your own world, nothing gets done. I mean, as far as that, but if you're depressed and you think you're the only person going through it, and you just eat that, and it's not going to do you any good.
Well, I always tell people, I mean, your brain is an incredibly powerful thing. I mean, it's honestly probably the whole reason that neurofeedback works is your brain is very powerful. Like
Yeah.
people don't realize there are literally women who convince themselves their brains that they're pregnant and they show all physical signs of pregnancy.
Wow.
Like their bellies will get, bigger, like they're pregnant, they can start lactating, like all of these things. So if that's not a sign of how powerful your mind is, right? And so like the biggest thing you can take away from this podcast is your brain is a powerful tool. How you choose to utilize it for financials, whether that be you want to start a business and you want to do big things, right? You want to be able to buy a house and create general wealth for your family. You want to come out, you want to change that cyclical depression that has been in your family for generations, like whatever that is. You have the ability to change that. You truly do. You just have to make the conscious decision, right? And figure out how that you want to make that change. Like what tools you're going to utilize, be it people or machines or, courses, whatever it is, right? So many choices.
Yeah, and I think there are a myriad of choices, and I think it's important just to reach out for something and take a step forward and not wait for something to happen and sit around thinking that something will happen. But yeah, even if you don't know if it's the right solution, just by moving forward, you're making progress. So yeah, it's important to move forward, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't, I mean, they just don't realize that. And it's hard, right? Like, I mean, depression is like being stuck in the muck.
Yeah.
Like it's just hard to even just take like one step forward. So no, if you're listening, you're not alone by any stretch. Like lots of other people have dealt with this. If you're kind of on that precipice where you're kind of feel like sad and lonely and depressed, but not quite maybe all the way there. Like, again, just find your tribe. There's so many different people. And we have such a beautiful part, especially in America specifically with technology, right? Like I found some of my closest people in my tribe through the internet, right? Like I always tease people because I say, oh my gosh, we've been friends on Facebook for years and now we're friends in real life. Like if I ever physically get to meet them, but that doesn't necessarily negate like their help point, right? And things like that.
No, and that to your point, the internet is an amazing place to go for when you're feeling it's a bad place to go when you're feeling bad too, actually. But you can
You gotta be
in that
intentional if you're going somewhere on the internet with
right,
real
yeah,
people.
exactly. It's all about the intention. So, I mean, there is a myriad of resources out there. Go reach for something. Go talk to something. Go to a Facebook group. Go to like find your people. Like they're all out there. They really are. Just talk to someone. I guarantee you'll find someone out there that you can connect with on a certain level like that, and maybe they'll become your best friend later. Like honestly, like yeah, things
Well, and
like
I
that
mean,
happen all the time.
think about how crazy this is. 20 years ago, you and I would not be doing what we're doing right now, right? Like because it would have been really expensive to try to like get on a call, and even though the internet existed, it would have been like weird, laggy, like it would have been hard. You know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
so many different aspects that like would have just made this such a hard thing to accomplish. So
Yeah.
even though there is so many things that are touching our hands, and it can be very overwhelming, right? Just trust yourself to know like what is speaking to you, right? Like what's because the resources are there, right? And there's tons of resources, and utilize them to their advantage. Like there's never been a time more in history where you really can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish if you just be intentional with it, right? Like just go after it, decide it's what you're gonna do, and just go for it, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, like you said, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the internet. You can do things now that you couldn't do 20 years ago. Like you're saying, like we can have a podcast. This wouldn't have been on my plate like 20 years ago. I mean, I would have had to fly to Texas at the least to be on the
Yeah.
podcast. And like I guess my point is that you can create such a big container for yourself over the internet, marketing container, and yeah, like for your business, however you want to grow. Like all the tools are here now at your disposal. Just literally, you just need to find them, and they're yeah. And the way that I've done that is by being around like-minded people. So
Oh yeah, finding
like
tribe
you.
has been huge. I mean, for me specifically, I felt like I was floundering so much in business before I sort of started surrounding myself with people who are of the same mindset, who really wanted to level up, who really wanted to pour in, right? Because I mean, I'm in an industry where tons of people just get into it to make a quick buck. Right. They see mortgage and real estate space. They see that, we tend to make a fair bit of money on transactions. So that must be what I want to do. And then they don't care about the consumer, the customer. Like they don't care about their goals or their thought processes. Honestly, like PBJ was birthed out of the fact that number one, I could not stand that so many people in our space tried to make mortgage seem so complicated, to like make themselves seem so intelligent. Like it
Mhm.
is a complex process on the back end, and there is a need for a true professional to help you. Don't misunderstand me. But if you're coming to me, I should not make it complicated, right? I should be able to break it down in such a way where you understand the things you need to understand to make good decisions, right? And then also, I don't think it has to be that serious. Like it can be playful. So it was like PBJ Mortgage, making mortgage simple, as simple as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's kind of dorky, but like it was to make you realize that like it didn't have to be this big scary thing. Like mortgage didn't have to be ooh, like the boogeyman. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you have a modern idea too, and you have intention and you have an idea, and I think that's why you're going to succeed. But even just touching on the name of your company, like that resonates with our generation so much more than like TD Waterhouse or whatever. Like any other brokerage firm. Like I don't want to work. That seems scary to me. Like PB&J Mortgage is approachable, like it's friendly, like talking to you is not like talking to a regular broker. I mean, you're very personable, and I think that's to just credit to the larger picture. Like you have an idea and you have an intention and you set out and you made it work, and you're making it work by doing things, and you're just going for it. And yeah, and look at you go, you're doing it.
Well,
Yeah,
you too.
it's just
You
cool
took
to
something
hear that.
that was helping you, right? And then you said, you know what? I can make this a business. Like I can help other people that way, right?
Yeah.
Um, And we'll kind of go into the point of wrapping up. So the biggest thing that I will ask you is, what's the best piece of advice you have for any listener about changing their mindset or their attitude towards money or just towards life in general?
Okay. Yeah, do something different, do something uncomfortable, and do it often, with guided support. You need a support group, and you need to do things that make you uncomfortable. If you're trying to grow, there's no other way around it. You're going to need to learn to do these things that scare you, and eventually they'll become no big deal. But I'd really encourage people to lean into that, and not shy away from doing things that scare them, because those are really the things that have the biggest growth in them. Learning to do scary things like cold call people, or to, like anything like that. Like that's where the money is, and that's where it's been. That's where I found it. And if I didn't do anything that didn't make me uncomfortable on a daily basis, I would be spinning my wheels in the mud still. So yeah,
Well, I was gonna
that's
say, it also is what helps you level up, right? I mean,
yeah.
like, you're never gonna get, like, if you have big dreams, if you have big goals, you're never gonna get there if you don't allow yourself to be uncomfortable. And it's not a fun feeling, but if you do have the right support group, you have people you can kind of go to and things like that. So, well, this has been amazing. I
Yeah.
know that I think, have an offer for our listeners, so please tell them what that is.
Yeah, if any of you are interested in a neurofeedback rental package, you can take 5% off of any of those on my website, which is californianeurofeedback.com. And you can get the 5% discount with code PODSAVE, PODSAVE.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, yeah. And like I said, I personally have used the machine myself, so I can't say enough good things about it. I
Thank
definitely
you.
think it is something that, if you are looking to level up, or you're dealing with some serious depression, or know somebody who, you don't want to do some of these kind of more extreme formats, you want to kind of do something that's a little bit more gentle and easy. It's definitely something that has changed me. And I'm not even completely done. I'm still actually, via the rental. You might see a little bit of my videos or testimonials there on Pete's website.
Yep.
But yes, again, here at Financial Mastery Simplified, we are trying our best to help you simplify the complicated, remind you that you are a powerful entity and that you can do so many amazing things with financials if you will just buckle down and do it intentionally. So thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.